Good morning, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite most editor. I am the diaspora matrix. My people, all in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's food. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American, the Latinos, etc.? It was another beautiful day for protests, and I enjoyed my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to my protest. And as you know, when I have protested and when I have updated you as to what transpired while I protest, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to you something of a social nature as it relates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Today I'm going to speak to the Unity Labour Party supporters. My brothers and sisters who supports the Unity Labour Party, there is a definition for insanity. And let us examine and see if you are insane in the things that you're doing. The definition for insanity is repeating the same thing in the same order and expect a different result. Now, Ralph Gonsalves has been the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for 25 years. He have weed out every member of his party that won the first general election except for himself. So the common political denominator in the Unity Labour Party is Ralph Gonsalves. Ralph Gonsalves micromanage everything, every decision, every project that the Unity Labour Party get involved in. Now, since its first bid to be re-elected in 2005, he spoke about the Argyle so-called International Airport. He sold St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially those people who support him in the Unity Labour Party, that the completion of the Argyle International Airport is going to change things around in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Things are going to be better for everyone in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It took Ralph Gonsalves 12 years to complete the Argyle International Airport. So he had 3 general elections from which he introduced the airport to its completion. Remember well, Ralph Gonsalves and the members of his party were telling you that when the international airport is completed, your life is going to be better because the economy is going to grow. Business is going to pick up. And so forth. My brothers and sisters who supports the Unity Labour Party, answer this question for me, please. It has been 8 years since the international airport have been open and came on stream. Have your life been better since the international airport came on stream? Have your economic condition improved in the past 8 years? Did you get a job in the past 8 years since the airport came on stream? Did you get a raise of salary in the past 8 years? Were you able to afford more things with your salary in the past 8 years? Let me know in the comments. And if your answer is no, it means that Ralph Gonsalves have been making projection that was erroneous. It is either he was intentionally fooling you, or he do not understand what will be the outcome of the projects that he's getting involved in. I have a sneaking suspicion that he was been fooling you. He have been stringing you along. Now, remember what Gonsalves told you, that the Holiday Inn people will be coming into St. Vincent and the Grenadines to invest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They are going to purchase lands. They are going to build hotels. They are going to run the hotels, and a lot of you are going to get employment. My people, the hotel that was handed over to the Holiday Inn was purchased by low interest loans that Ralph Gonsalves gave to himself from the CARICOM Development Fund. What does this mean? This means that Ralph Gonsalves lied to you about the Holiday Inn people coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to start the Holiday Inn Hotel. Ralph Gonsalves borrowed money from the Caribbean Development Fund, the CARICOM Development Fund. That is a fund that CARICOM have, where all of the member governments put monies into that fund, and they can get those monies out as low interest loans. So what does this mean? This means that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines have to eventually pay back this loan. My people, we are soon going to realize that the Sanders Resort, which is not profitable, they have never made a profit since they opened. That is why Sanders will never invest their money in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not have the high caliber tourist sector that will go to a resort. We don't have that kind of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Sanders, knowing that, will never invest their money in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in creating an exclusive resort. The monies was St. Vincent and the Grenadines' monies. Where have you ever heard a multi-billion-dollar company like Sanders will go to a place to establish a resort and have the government in that place negotiate lands purchased for them? Never. Sandals have people that goes in and do the negotiation on their behalf. Sandals Resort have a blueprint in the manner in which they operate. So do you think that Sandals, a multi-billion-dollar company who is in business solely for a profit, will invest their monies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, knowing that we don't have a tourist market that is able to satisfy the low-budget hotels, must judge for an exclusive resort? Do you really think that Sandals is going to invest millions upon millions of dollars in acquiring the Bookament Resort, transforming that resort into a high class or a 4-star resort, only to sit back and lose money for 4 years? This will never happen. The Sandals Resort in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been in operation for over 3 years. And the Sandals Resort in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have never turned a profit in those 3 years. They have never even break even. They have been spending much more money in food, wages, utility, and so forth than they have ever made. They have never made enough money to cover the working expense of the hotel for a year. Do you really think that Sandals is the kind of company that is going to sit back and hope that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines or St. Vincent become so attractive to outsiders that will start to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Never. So since the Argyle Airport is in operation for over 8 years, and since You were promised that with the opening of the Argyle International Airport, the economics of St. Vincent is going to change. Why did Ralph Gonsalves not re-employed those government workers that lose their job in the pandemic? And why didn't Ralph Gonsalves fill those places if he was not going to re-employ those people? It's because St. Vincent and the Grenadines is in a worse situation than it have ever been economically. And Ralph Gonsalves' government was happy that the pandemic came so they can fire those people without giving them a gratuity or without giving them any form of compensation, because it's only now he can really use the money to pay the wages that remain. So if after 8 years the Argyle International Airport was open and is functioning, you need to go and ask Ralph Gonsalves how long before you start to feel the benefits from the airport that he promised you're going to feel. How long before things start turning around economically in our country as he promised they were or would have when the international airport came on stream? My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I'm the diaspora machismo. Remember to like this video, share this video, leave a comment on this video. Let me know what are your thoughts about this video. There are many more videos like this right here. Go and peruse those videos and let me know what are your thoughts about those videos. Remember to like or subscribe based on which social media platform you're viewing this video from. And remember, this is Chief Strongblood telling you, use your head. Be smart, be wise, and be vigilant. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.